Hey there, YouTube friends, Mass Bandit here, and thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate it. Welcome to Surfside Pleasure Pier, except it's going to be a little bit different of an episode today. We'll do some time-lapse a little bit in a few minutes, but I wanted to walk through the pier today and kind of give you a look at where things are at, because today's time-lapse are just two things, both of which have to do with the coaster, and I didn't feel like that was enough for you. I didn't think like that would be enough of a video for you. It felt a little cheap to be like, here's two really tedious things I did for a couple hours worth, but it's taking me a little bit longer to get through it. So, that being said, let's take a look at what we got. So, don't look at that. The pier, we're going to walk through and do like a checklist of things that need to be fixed. And things that you catch that I don't, drop in the comments things that need to be fixed up. So obviously we need some fencing and some stuff down here. We'll hit that up. And as we walk up onto the actual pier, we need to do some stuff with our pathing here. You can see that this is kind of dull, actually. Like it's a little just kind of blah. I'm gonna try. Maybe I'll throw some planters up here. Some actual like pots and stuff and all that. Bubblegum is looking pretty okay. Probably some more windows. No, actually no. I think this is actually pretty good with our seating area over here and all that. So I think that'll be just fine. Let's actually go into the pier. Oh, we have our ticket booths over here that no one is working at. Excellent, excellent. Have to hire some more people. So our entrance arch is looking pretty all right. I think it looks fine. I like it. Someone asked for it on the workshop, wants to see this up on the workshop. I could do that. We'll put that on the workshop. And as we walk in, I do like right away that you get a nice view of Comet and the Star Flyer. I like that. So as we walk up here, this area is looking pretty good as far as details go. What is that? What is that? Random bracket there. Well, we'll delete that. And we've got our staff only area. Let's peek. What's in there? Oh, there's like trucks and stuff. Oh, look at the trucks and stuff. Oh, look, there's a skull and crossbones on here. I never noticed that. Cool little detail. Neat. We can't go in there. We're not staff. Oh, well. But the rest of this is looking all right. Our Surfside snacks are doing fine. And then we get back in this area here. This area feels pretty good. I feel like this area is just about ready to go. Some more clutter here. Another backstage area. Whoop. Oh, we actually have our backstage area. We've got our little cones and stuff. Again, just simple, gets the idea across. Yeah, over here. So I think we're pretty good up front here. Look at people are actually sitting on the tables. When do you ever see people actually sitting on the tables? Pretty good. Boardwalk bump. If we go inside and walk the queue real fast, excuse me, you can see I actually did put a little building here, or an actual roof in here, and I like that. I think it looks fine. So I think this is good from a peep point of view. Some things to do here. We have no fencing on the swings here at all, so we'll need to add that. Add some fencing in. And then we'll need to add some more fencing here so people can't just walk right on. Whoa, that's a pretty cool view, actually. Oh, I like that. That's pretty neat. So, we've got our door back here. So we'll have to make this like a backstage area, like a mini backstage area. We can do that. Squeeze some more picnic tables in there. I tried to do some things with the water, and I just didn't like anything that we did. If I go up here, and we look down, you can see it's still just the blue. I didn't like what we had. I didn't like the, I did some things with the water fountains, turned them upside down, and they were too big, and you could still see the particle emitter. Did some things with glass, but you could still see the seams of the glass. Didn't like that either. If I can't think of anything else that's gonna look really good, I might just leave it like this and call it a day. Because that's kind of it. Oh, look, we need to remove this piece right here. Floating trim piece. But you can see in here, it's looking fairly completed. So let's just consider this like a mini, a pre-bro trip, so that when Mike gets here, we're not getting reamed. So our queue here is looking fine. And we have our spoopy house. And I realized, like, you get the cinematics, but you get the same couple angles. So I do want to show you all the angles. You can see there are some really bare bones parts, which some of that's intentional. Some of it just hasn't gotten the detail, the detail polish yet. So this is still the most popular ride in the park, Spoopy Manor. Yes, the POVs are coming. I told you they will be near the end of the series, so don't worry. It's coming up not too far away now. These picnic benches, I think, are a perfect addition to kind of add some clutter here, add some more seating options. So there's Captain Lockjaw. Hello. There he goes. He's going to do his thing. So this area here, I think I am most satisfied with. In the last episode, I cleaned this area up, so it actually looks like it's like it's put there. It's not like plants aren't growing out of the boardwalk anymore. So that's good. Got some awesome games here. Simple Sign, the Zipper. Our ice cream, our Comet Cafe is looking all right. Oop, a little gitch up there. Yeah, so you can see it's a lot. Now that I'm down here, I feel a little better. I was really worried. The Star Wheel entrance, I like how hidden this is. You can't really see it, but it is. This is a true entrance to the Ferris wheel. We never really looked at this in peep view, so here's your little canvas cover as you get on your Ferris wheel there, which I dig. I think that's pretty neat. So, yeah. Hello. What are you up to? This will be the secret backstage area here. We'll put some signage there we need to do. And then back here it starts to get a little more raw. A little more. We need something here. But there's no actual paths there because the coaster's in the way. You'll notice, though, there is some lighting. Oh. So why don't we jump in and take a look at a little bit of the lighting time-lapse, and I'll talk a little bit more about it. So we only have about 1.5 minutes of time-lapse here. You don't need to see me do the entire coaster, but I wanted to show a bit of my process. I'm actually using two 2-meter pieces. I could probably get away with just 1 4-meter, and it's a process. Like I have to position them. I'm trying to line them up with the railings so it looks like they're actually attached to the railings, but there's so many small curves in the track, and each piece is just, it's a way different beast than it would have been in like RollerCoaster Tycoon 3, which wouldn't have been nearly as difficult because they're standard pieces, and so you could make a set that conforms to all the standard pieces in the game, all the puzzle pieces in a coaster, and that would be super easy. With the freeform tool, it makes doing something like this way more difficult. To the point where I wasn't even going to do it, but I couldn't have it and not do it. I couldn't have a classic wooden coaster on a pier and not do string lighting. Fisherman, I looked at his reference, he helped me out. We're going to be doing all the outside rails on the outside part of the coaster layout, if that makes sense. It'll make sense once you see it all. We don't finish the entire coaster in this episode because I just can't do it. It's too much. It's too tedious. So it'll be finished by the next episode. And that's about it. So we're going to hop back into the real-time portion at this time. So there was just a little bit of looking at the process of putting in the lighting here. It's a tedious task, not gonna lie, and I'm not finished with it yet. It is not completed. We will need to do some more work with it. I got, I'll say about maybe a little more than halfway done. So that will be hopefully completed for the next episode. And so there you go. So that brings us now a little bit further back. Oh, we'll look at that sign in just a little bit later. So here's the Tacky Shack, which is already on the workshop. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite parts. And I don't think I ever gave a good view of the arcade, so let's go and take a look. Fisherman did inform me that he used the Knight Rider set for these. So hopefully you'll start to hear some of the sound effects. There we go. So I added some sound effects from Ruble Trillions into the arcade. You can hear them now beeping and booping and bopping with our awesome arcade games from various people, Muserato and Shadow Phoenix. There you go. There's some blips and blops. I love it. Here's our arcade. Maybe I'll put a Vista Point in here or something to get some people to actually walk through here. Like, they don't have to walk through anymore from the coaster, so that's all right though. I stuck this cotton candy vendor in here, and I like that. I think it works well in this area because it was an open area. We'll probably stick some vendors. That's what we're going to go put in that open area. We're going to put some vendors back there. So here's our sign for Stingray and our coaster entering this away. And this queue is pretty much completed. You'll see we still need to do some stuff here on the steps and all this elevated part, as well as, if I turn around, the transfer track's got nothing going for it. It's got nothing going for it, so oh well, what are you gonna do? So let's get out of here with it, because I can't get to the exit this way, can I? Kind of, yeah, the exit comes down this way, and it pops us back out here by the Gulpy, by the smoothie shed. I changed it to smoothie shed so we don't have too many snacks, or shacks, so it's the smoothie shed, so. Run through here. The biggest thing on the to-do list is to, well, we're going to fence this area off so nobody can get in there, but we need to finish this. You could see the inside of the grand ballroom, and it has no back. So we will need to get to that. I've been trying to hide that as much as possible in all the videos. Need to shore up this area around the coaster. Need to add a cover. I'm thinking I want a custom cover for this flat at the end of the pier. I think that'd be kind of nice. Something like, yeah, just a simple cover. I think that'd look good. The tap house is pretty much done. I actually do have some detail work to do over here. I forgot to do some of that roof work there. But this area is shaping up. The stage with some more games, some games from Jaunty. I feel bad his Wet Wild West shoot 'em up didn't stick, but his basketball games did. And I think there's a couple more of his games. There's a duck game, I think that's his. Not this catch a clam. Look at that. We obviously are going to need to fence this because nothing is stopping you from just diving off the edge of the pier here, which would be bad. And there is our swing ride, which is pretty much done at this point. So that's just a little overview of what I've been up to. Let's go back, or what needs to be done. I like good tramp company. It's a little naughty, but it's okay. I'm fine with that. Do dig the coaster. I think I really like Stingray now. I think I'm down with it. We'll just shore it up here a little bit, and we'll have something over here. Maybe we'll have another toilet block or something over here to get people over here. That'd be good. And some of the vintage posters made it up on the wall just to kind of spam those, because I do like them. I think they're nice. And that brings me to the Comet sign. And there it is. And I do have a little bit of a time lapse on the Comet sign where I'll talk more about that. So let's check that out. So here we are in the building of the Comet sign. Very similar to the style that I did with the Bubba Gump's sign, where it's the half oval, or it's the small, extra small oval, sunk just a teeny tiny bit. And I'm realizing that I can never get it to look as good on another art shape as I get it to look on the billboard itself, which is kind of a bummer. I've fiddled with this for way too many minutes to get it to look good after we get to this point, but I think I've gotten better at a style, not a style, but a methodology to this that makes it actually not quite as mind-numbing and not quite as awful. And especially because this is fairly simple. I'm only doing the letters C-O-M-E-T. And you'll notice I'm not even doing the outline. I considered it, but that would have just been another couple hundred pieces that I just didn't want to do it. So I'm not gonna. So, and if that kind of ruffles your feathers, then I guess kind of so be it. Because there's just some things I just, no. Nah. And I think the end result is good. I like it, and I like the little goofy comet that I end up putting on it, and I think I actually have a little bit of that video as well. So adding some of the colors that are on the coaster as a background, looking to see which sizes I want and all that. And here's what I'm talking about. I can get it close, and then we snap right to it, to us fitting it on the actual spot. And I think this fits so much better than those letters. I really enjoy it, and I like the retro look without it being like super duper retro. It feels much more like 60s, 70s, maybe, I guess. Like with the goofy little red and orange comet on the corner there. I really like it. It's comedy enough. And that's kind of what I was going for. Like, yeah, that's clearly a comet. It looks like a bad basketball uniform. Which is totally what I was going for. Like, I found a picture. It's like, oh, I want that. And so we just kind of slammed it in there. A couple trash cans and stuff. And then we're going to hop back into the real-time portion just about now. Alright, so there you go. Again, I didn't get the whole sign done. Pretty sure it was just the font portion of it, or some of the font. You don't need to sit through the tedium of me placing an entire custom sign, so... Yeah, but I think this is a much better alternative. I love Uaken's letters. They're just too big. They were too big for this. I didn't want this to be any bigger. I didn't want it to take up any more space, so... This is a nice version, a nice retro idea of what I wanted. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. So, with that being said, that's going to kind of do it for this episode. This might be the format we take, where I just show in real time the stuff I've done until the end of the series here. Because, so those things on the list are the things that we're going to be doing. None of them are all that adventurous and exciting. So I want to find ways to make videos for you guys without it being time-lapsed, boring crap with me having nothing to say. So... this little walkthrough here, I think, was fine. It was a nice first way to do that as we watch the coaster go by. I have to think of some other ways to do it, unless the time lapse starts to. I get something good. Like I'll probably time lapse the back of the grand ballroom and the cover. That's probably what we'll tackle next episode. That's what we'll be tackling. We'll be tackling the back end of the pier. We'll be doing the cover, finishing up the ballroom and the cover to the. Whatever they're called. Twister ride? I don't know what it's called. That one that came with the vintage. The vintage version of the scissor. That's what we're going to be doing. So, with that being said, let's throw it to some cinematics with some of the wonderful music. So, I know this has been a cinematic episode, but let's get some more artsy-fartsy shots. So, with that being said, have yourself a great day, great night, great whatever, and I will see all of you for the next episode of Surfside Pleasure Pier. Talk to you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.